You can tell how damaging a scandal is to a politician by how they react right in the aftermath of it breaking. And federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is definitely reacting in the aftermath of it being exposed that he's probably only attacking Loblaws as like the main dragon of the grocery cartel because his brother owns a lobby firm which is involved with Metro grocery stores. And despite the fact that Metro has a higher net profit margin than Loblaws, Jagmeet Singh completely ignores Metro and even supports things like the Loblaws boycott. Absolutely silly, ridiculous, and deeply corrupt. And in the aftermath of this, Jagmeet Singh is going to pretend that he doesn't know how supply and demand works and virtue signal in favor of organic grocery stores. So he just posted this on X a little bit ago, and I want to break it down here because I find it endlessly silly. He says, supporting Canadian local grocery stores and small business is one of the strongest ways to take on corporate greed and the corporate grocery cartel. On May 12th, like many Canadians, I supported a local grocer, and he's saying this because the Loblaws boycott was going on. Raise the Root is an incredible woman-owned market in Toronto. Thank you for having us. And then here's him hanging out with them in this small grocery store, and this is all very hypocritical when you think of two different things. One, he's only doing this simply because it was coming out that his brother was involved in lobbying for Metro. And also, doesn't Jagmeet Singh dislike excessive profits? That if you profit too much, if your net profits at the end of the day are too high, he will come after you with pitchforks and daggers because supposedly Loblaws making 3.7 or 3.4% net profit is excessive, and that they need to have even harder government regulations and wage controls and price controls implemented onto them in order to stop these demons out of the pits from being able to make a couple cents on a turnip. Whatever. But why isn't he mad at the small local grocery store for their margins? Do we really think that this small grocery store is working on 4% profit margins? And it's not bad if they are working at higher ones. Usually local stores make far more money per unit that they sell because they tend to be in a neighborhood. They're closer to where people live. The rent cost per square foot of the store costs more. So if they're selling things like organic vegetables, naturally they are going to be pricier simply because they are not able to engage in the economies of scale that Safeway, Loblaws, or like Costco can do. Different stores fill different niches. I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't have a problem with them making whatever amount of money they want to make. They're allowed to do it. If a customer buys a product from you and they're not being compelled to do it, that is a fair free market transaction. And the idea and arrogance of Jagmeet Singh coming in and saying what you're allowed to accept for different products and what you're allowed to expend on labor costs and what wages you're allowed to be hired at and how much the consumer it's not like I was gonna say puritanical stuff. I meant why am I forgetting that word? Doesn't matter. But it's incredibly infantilizing to pretend that the market can't get along without some sort of washed up socialist like Jagmeet Singh telling it how it's supposed to function. I wanted to pull this up here in just a second. I think, like, actually, yeah, here it is because he took some photos of their produce. I think he thought it was like a good looking shot, but you can even tell right here these are some pricey foods. This is not the Loblaws type situation where you're paying like a couple cents per tomato you're buying. For these tomatoes, which it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see when there's 8. You're paying $5.99 for these packages of tomatoes. For these oranges down here, $2.99 for a pound, $6.58 for a kilogram. That is pretty expensive. I guarantee you, if you go to another store, it will be less. Yes, it's organic. You could make an entire video on how the organic industry is kind of fake. I used to work at a wine store, and I can tell you, organic wine is mostly a scam. Not totally, but really, do you have enough money to be able to pay for getting the regulators to mark you as organic? That's what it comes down to. Do you have the right fence posts? You could be burning just like you could have like a coal power plant on your property, just putting out massive like clouds of smoke, like you're running like a Victorian like sort of coal power plant or factory, and you could still be certified as organic as long as you have very oddly specific things being done to like an organic grade. But this is not a cheap store. Good for them if they're successful. Fair enough. They are succeeding in the market. But Jagmeet Singh cannot go to Loblaws and say, I can't believe that you're charging $1 per whatever. When another store, I guarantee if you bought an apple from that store, it's not going to be 75 cents. It's going to cost a lot more. But Jagmeet Singh is really just anti-corporate. So he wants the government to get involved to break up corporations or run the corporations for them through excessive regulations. But he has this weird aesthetic liking for the small local person getting it done. It's like he's a communist from the Soviet Union who is in favor of the new economic policy that Lenin put forward that allowed for some small business capitalism. So he only likes it when it's aesthetically pleasing, that, oh, it feels like this shop is a real local destination and hub for the community. But if that store opens up another one across across town somewhere, and they maybe open up a larger store, then he's going to demonize them. These people actually have to say what the line is before they will start being critical. Is it the profit margins? Apparently not. Is it the amount of success the chain has had? Well, it depends, because he doesn't go after some chains like Metro. If he can't be consistent with what he considers excessive profiteering and what he considers a cartel or a monopoly, then I don't care about his opinion. And neither do most Canadians, especially in the light of the fact that he's basically doing a lot of his anti-grocery cartel crusading on behalf of his brother, Guratan Singh, who helps co-run a lobby firm who works for Metro. Metro being, look at this chart, is the grocery store that makes the highest net profit margins, 4.02%, and Loblaws at 3.4%, yet Loblaws gets all of the heat from Jagmeet Singh. And guess what? Guess what on this, which grocery stores on this chart have excessive profits? None of them do. Not a single one. They're allowed to make the money that they make. It might be that Metro is just better run, and that's why they make more money, and they deserve it. But from Jagmeet Singh's point of view, he never looks at that. He'll say, oh, did you know that Sobeys made 25% more profit in this quarter? And then he never looks into the fact that, yes, because they sold a gas station and they had a one-time benefit of profit from that sale, but they no longer make any more money from the gas stations operating because they don't own them anymore. He doesn't actually care. He is just looking for socialist, populist type voters to come flocking to him because he's taken on Galen Weston and the rich, overpaid CEOs, even though Jagmeet Singh is easily the biggest wealth projector on the planet, or at least in Canada. The man loves to show that he has wealth because he is deeply tied into this kind of hype man culture where if you're not wearing a gold Rolex, he doesn't want someone from his own community making fun of him, that he seems like just some poor, stodgy politician. He is obsessed with coming off as a wealthy, slick man. At the same time, he's going after Galen Weston, who just dresses up like a normal businessman and actually employs people and operates his business successfully, but that's like a sin in Jagmeet Singh's world. Sorry that this turned into a bit of a rant, but that will be it for me, guys, today. I have my Give, Send, Go for the legal fund in the description of this video. If you guys want to contribute and help us fight back against this lawsuit from a billionaire developer trying to sue us for a fake claim of defamation, that would really help us out. We've already paid $29,000 into defending ourselves. And then you can also join the National Telegraph the TNT Telegram channel in the description below. There's a link for it there, and I actually will remember to do it this time. Someone mentioned a couple of videos back. I said it, I really emphasized it, and then I didn't even put the link in. And then also, if you happen to live in the riding of Calgary Signal Hill, I'm Wyatt Claypool, and I'm running to be your next Conservative Party nominee. So make sure if you have a Conservative Party membership, the deadline to buy memberships is already passed. But if you live in that riding and you're a Conservative, mark me number 1 on your ballot so we actually have real Conservatives representing strong Conservative ridings. Have a great one, everyone.